Greetings nerdy list aficionados and welcome back to Top 10 Nerd. I'm so excited for this list, it's ridiculous. This is about comic book couples, and there's little I love more than some of the random, weird, or just poorly thought out pairings that happen. Now some of these are just gonna be, did you know that this happened? Did you? Huh? But some will leave you needing a shower. It's a mix. I'm Sasha and these are the top 10 superhero couples you won't believe exist. Caveat, some of you may know all of these, but hopefully I'll surprise you. Let's get started. Number 10. CATMAN and the Huntress. So CATMAN was given an upswing in cred when he was added to Gail Simone's Secret 6 series in 2005. He went from being a joke ripoff of Catwoman, even though he was dressed like Batman, to a character with actual pathos and motivations and backstory, and a penchant for walking the anti-hero route. This eventually would lead him into contact with the Huntress. This is the pre-New 52 post-crisis Huntress, so Helena Bertinelli. She was Catwoman and Batwoman's daughter for a bit before Crisis on Infinite Earths. So from the start, these two are attracted to each other, expressed quite strongly in Birds of Prey number 104, where the two have to dance together and can do nothing but have anti-hero banter. Ultimately, this was a two ships passing in the night type of deal. They met, they flirted, they made out. They flirt when they see each other, or did pre-rebirth, but it was not meant to be. Still, it was fun. But again, it was pushing Catman into Batman territory. Catman. They're low because it was no great love to span the ages, but it happened and the world must know. Number 9. Speedball and Squirrel Girl. Pre the digital era, one of Squirrel Girl's big traits was that she was an assertive flirt. If she liked you, she made no bones about it. She was quite forward with how she came onto Matt Murdock, and her taste varied. Squirrel Girl had a crush on Speedball, and it turned out he did too. It was all super cute. He kissed her, said he liked hazelnuts. Squirrel Girl's lips taste like hazelnuts. Fun fact. It was all just adorable. She built it up a lot, but these two were not meant to be because Speedball became Penance. This is because he was part of the event which launched Civil War, the first one. He was on the team The New Warriors, who were trying to take down Nitro when he detonated and killed 612 people, including 60 kids. This, well, it changed Speedball, and he found he could only access his powers through pain. He made a suit that contained 612 spikes, 60 longer ones to represent the kids, and he wears it, or wore it, while he fought crime. Even though now he can access his powers again without doing this, he still feels guilt and feels that he should feel pain. This was all too edgy and dark for Squirrel Girl, who was horrified in the changes in him. So horrified she went back in time to try to prevent him from becoming Penance. I must now point out that at this point they weren't properly dating. That's intense. Boundaries. I'm scared. He would ultimately become Speedball again, without time travel. And these two, well, it wasn't meant to be. Number 8. Elektra and the Punisher. Oh yes, this happened, while they were both on Thunderbolts. It actually caused lots of jealousy for Deadpool because he was crushing on Elektra hard. The Punisher and Elektra, it makes sense on paper, sort of. They're both very intense, though this was brief and well, it ended badly. Elektra actually seemed up to trying to make a relationship work and seek compromise, and she knew that Frank wasn't over his dead family trauma, but was willing to meet him halfway. Well, he was already full on ready to kill her. He also belittles her for her affections for people in general and says it's her weakness. Yeah, it ended badly. She would have had a better time with Deadpool, to be honest. Are they a superhero couple? More like an anti-hero couple. Would we have had enough for an anti-hero couple list? Maybe, but that word doesn't trend as hard. They count. Number 7. Black Widow and Iron Man. So Black Widow is known for some of her great loves. Hawkeye, Daredevil, and more recently the Winter Soldier, but for a while she had quite the thing with Tony. Black Widow actually made her first appearance in an Iron Man story in Tales of Suspense number 52 back in 1964. Her and Tony would start off as enemies, but when she defected and ultimately became an Avenger, the two ended up having a bit of a thing. A romance. Finally, a legit couple. It was more of a physical thing, but still there were panels of pillow talk and banter and flirting. This was different from the Ultimate Verse, the 1610 universe, where her and Tony had a sex tape and he ultimately had to take her out after they got married because she was using him. No, this was 616. I supported it. Most people didn't though. Tony was not the most popular character at the time, and for many people it was more a question of who should she go back to, Hawkeye or the Daredevil, during that time period. Daredevil was a huge thing. He even moved for her, but then he missed his area too much, so they broke up. Number 6. War Machine and Captain Marvel, Carol Danvers. Yep, Rhodey and Carol. There were even some people who were rooting for this in the MCU, but we knew that wasn't gonna happen. These two's relationship actually made sense. They both had military backgrounds, were both assertive leaders, they understood the demands demands of being a hero and could work around it. For a time, it was sweet. It showed a human side to both characters you didn't always get to see. A romance can do that if you use it effectively for maximum character development quite quickly, if you're clever about it. He was really supportive, but then Civil War II. Oh, Civil War II. Why? So Rhodey dies leading up to Civil War II. He's killed off super cheaply as a catalyst for Carol to go full Minority Report. So yeah, he pretty much got fridged, which is an equal opportunity thing no matter what people say. If you're a supporting character, a love interest, who's a character in your own right, and then you just get killed somewhere else, fridged. The panel is so dramatic too. No. It would have had more of an impact if Civil War II had been better, if he had stayed dead, and if after he came back the two had kept on dating. But none of those things happened. Some people still miss this pairing though. When it worked, it worked. Sometimes you just want something wholesome. Number 5. Venom and Valkyrie. Well, Agent Venom and Valkyrie. Yes, you heard that right. Don't let your dreams be dreams. When you think about this one's kind of polyamorous too, because the symbiote gets in on it as well. Lots of things to think about. This happened when the two were on the Secret Avengers in the lead up to A vs. X, an event that had a mixed reception. So these two, what can we say? It was odd, but it was a power couple, and it was different, a quasi couple. A bit of wisecracking alien slash host with a being from another realm. For these two it was awkward, a kind of step off my girlfriend. What, girlfriend? Did I say girlfriend? Oh no, that slipped out. So slightly derpy guy with above it girl, only they're both cool. This obviously didn't last, but it was a fun blip. Number 4. Star-Lord and Kitty Pryde. This was a big one. They even had a comic together, one of those team-up romances, so you know it was serious. This occurred post Guardians of the Galaxy in the MCU, which saw a complete revamping of Star-Lord's character in the comics, rendering him far more in line with the MCU edition. Star-Lord even proposed to her, but Kitty is a strong independent woman who don't need no man. She already had to break off a serious thing with Colossus ages ago, but well, she's back with him, since breaking up with Star-Lord. Also, she was Star-Lord for a bit, taking on his persona. At the start of this, it was a long-distance relationship, but eventually turned into Kitty going to be with him in space. This was one that the writers really enjoyed doing, and you can tell. However, it would have meant a permanent shift for one of the characters, either Kitty in space or Peter on Earth, and well, that wasn't gonna happen long term. So these two didn't make it. Plus, sometimes fans get up in arms when new couples go up against a classic like Kitty and Colossus. Number 3. Rogue and Magneto. That's right, Rogue and the master of magnetism himself. Now their big romance happens outside of the main 616 timeline, but there were hints of it there. It specifically started in Uncanny X-Men number 274 when they're both trapped in the Savage Land. Trapped in the Savage Land for the X-Men is like being trapped in a cave for everybody else. No one can resist. The two have a brief thing, but it's over pretty quickly. In the Savage Land, when powers are defunct, when they are, Rogue can touch people. In the time before she had more control over her powers, this was a huge deal. In main canon, it would be a kind of will they, won't they, oh they kinda did kind of thing. She even had a relationship with his clone Joseph, though at first she thought that he was a de-aged amnesiac Magneto, and went for it. Their grand courtship would be them paired together in Age of Apocalypse, where they were just a couple. And some fans were into it, while others flipped the table asking where's Gambit. Since then, this still happens, and she's definitely slept with him since in main continuity. She's married to Gambit now at the time of this recording, or was. It's a sore spot. I feel like a gossip rag. Next up, pictures of Cyclops taken from a bush outside his house. You'll never guess what secret X-Force mission he just greenlit. Number 2. Hal Jordan and Arisia. This one is infamous now, and in continuity we really try not to talk about this. Okay. Hal Jordan and Arisia. Early, very early in Hal Jordan's continuity, there was a bit of a no alien chicks thing, so he wasn't paired too much with the rest of the Corps. Not to mention the Corps took a while to coalesce. It used to just be Hal chilling in space being sent from place to place by the Guardians. Once there was a Corps, one of the members was Arisia, a character who was clearly on the younger side who had a crush on Hal, and at first it was well handled. Hal knew about it but would always let her down easy and let her know that she was more like a sister to him, even frequently calling her little sister. Until eventually he had to put her down hard when she showed up in Green Lantern 204 in a new revealing costume to entice him. He finally told her, look, no, you're half my age, you have to stop flirting with me. Well, one day, the same writer who brought us Colossus and barely legal Kitty Pryde decided that Hal and Arisia were going to be trapped in a cave. And suddenly, Arisia is older. She used her power ring to will her body to be older. In the comic it will claim that this also went for her mind, but I say to that, sure Jan. She was 14 by the way. So yeah. And well, all of a sudden, all of his rationale went out the window. Woman body, cave, making out. They would fully get together after this, and there's one issue where Guy Gardner spikes their drinks so that they can get together. This whole Plot. Later, a new writer, Peter David, well, a couple of writers later, would just have her break it off with him. And so it was never mentioned again, except by people like me. I refuse to let this hot mess go. It must live on and the world must know. And what could beat that? Number 1. The Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver. That's right. Twin siblings, twincest, from the 1610 Ultimate Verse. And yes, they knew they were siblings. And yes, people in that universe will judge Cap for not getting it. What a stick in the mud. So why did this happen? Well, the Ultimate Verse was edgy and extreme, pushing boundaries, many of which nobody was asking to be pushed. Now, fans did not react well to this, but the writers kept pushing it, adding more backstory when it was at first more subtle, like them sleeping together and Wolverine, who is potentially thought to be their father for a bit, watching them from the bushes. So why was all this happening? Well, mostly it was build up to kill off Wanda so that people in universe would care, and it could be part of the motivation for launching Ultimatum, an event so awful and edgy that it is said to have been the death knell for the entire Ultimate Universe. That's why Ultimates 3, Ultimatum, the whole thing. No, bad Marvel. Bad. So those were 10 superhero couples you won't believe exist. Are you shocked? Do you need a shower? This was a fun one. Please like, I'll do more. I'm Sasha, thanks so much for watching Top 10 Nerd. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more nerdy lists. Hit that bell for notifications so that you never miss a vid, and we'll see you again soon. Bye bye.